How's it going, everybody? Let's make a squirrel carving together. First, let's start off with some squirrel research. Let's look at some of these squirrels we got here. I like the shape of that one with its tail. That's a cute little guy right there, I tell you what. Another cute little guy. That one's on some pine trees or something. Oh, look at his finger. Just pointing. He's throwing up gang signs or something. And I think we're getting like AI sort of stuff here. And that don't even look realistic anymore. Oh, just laying there on a tree, peeking. Hey, he's got a whole bunch of acorns. Still, just filling his mouth with them. A whole bunch of nuts. Oh, that ain't even a squirrel, isn't that? Chipmunk? Might be a squirrel. That's the guy. I like that one. I like the shape. I like the tail. Let's rough it out, alright? Get the wood done here. So I got a few pieces here, a few cutouts, or printouts. I'll match up the blocks to the sizes of the squirrels here. See, I like that long piece that I had there, but I'm going to save that for something else. I'm going to use 4 of these blocks. And here you can see I'm just making sure the grain's all facing the same way as well as possible. Seeing how well the blocks fit together. They're not completely square off, so I'm just seeing how they fit together as well as keeping the grain the same way. We're going to glue them up here. Glue them and clamp them. Glue up the other side here. Clamp these together. And they're shifting a little bit. This was kind of tricky because the glue made it slick. I wanted to kind of fill in that center bit. It was wanting to pop up a little bit, but we eventually get it all together. Now it's glued up. Let's make them blocks flat. Just using our benchtop sander here, making sure that the surface that I'm going to be sticking our squirrel picture on has a nice flat surface in order to lay against. Let's cut out the template. Just get our little squirrel guy here all cut out so we can go take it to the scroll saw. Alright, we're done. Time to carve. You see I marked out where I want its little hands at, kind of the shape of the head. I'm a little worried about how thin that is there, and as I'm carving, oh, puppy dog, hi Holly. But how thin those hands were where the blocks came together. It is it actually snapped there, so I ended up having to take some super glue and gluing it back together. But in the end, it held. So this took forever. So we're going to speed up the footage here just a little bit. I mean, it's worth it in the end. It was worth it, but it took a long time. These are just some cheap carving knives, whittling knives that I got online. It was a bit, I don't know, it was kind of hard because the knife itself wasn't that sharp. Yeah, I'm going to have to get some sharpening stones. But it was kind of peaceful, a little bit. Had the TV playing on in the background. Took a few hours to get it to where I was content with the shape and the size of everything. It's a fat little boy, that it is. That is a fat little squirrel I got there. Here we're going to run some sandpaper over it, kind of smooth it up a little bit. Whittle a little bit more on that tail because I wasn't quite happy with the symmetry of it. I mean, none of it's like the same on both sides, but there was just a little piece on that tail that was sticking out a little bit more on one side. So went ahead and took that off, and now we're back to the sanding. Rolling the sandpaper up real tight so I can get inside the little things there. Now for the favorite part, that was painting it. That was real fun. I decided to use watercolors on it. Right here I am marking out our eyes. So I kind of get a rough estimate of where they're going to be whenever it comes to that point. But yeah, I used some watercolor here. I started off with dry paints here, getting the paints wet, and I was like, that ain't working. So I got some water, misted the squirrel and misted the paints themselves, so it's a bit more saturated, and it helped speed up the process a little bit. Thinking about it, why don't you guys leave a comment down below to tell me what we should name this little guy. Earlier during the research phase as well, I was going to go out and get some videos of squirrels, but they're hard to spot out in the wild on the trails I was on. Every once in a while I'd hear them, but to get video of them, they would sneak onto the other side of the tree. Every single time I'd pull my phone out in order to grab a video of them, they just went on the other side. It's like they knew that I was trying to spot them. But I guess that's what a squirrel would do, wouldn't it? When they're out in the wild, not there in the city. Not quite used to all the people being around. Yeah, you would hide, so people don't see you. And here I'm just adding paint. If I think it's too thick, I'll add water to it. I sprayed the squirrel down a few times in order to get the paint to spread a little bit better. Again, spraying our paints down. Now I'm going to add some brown to it because it's a gray squirrel, but you know, there's spots of brown, there's spots of gray, lighter hair, darker hair. So this is just the kind of like our base coat. I want to mix everything together. And later on I come back with some acrylic paints. Because I was looking at it, it didn't look like it was completely done after all this paint here with the watercolors. I was missing some detail, like the hair of the squirrel itself. I got the collar down, I thought, but I just wanted a little extra detail. So later you'll see, whenever I'm showing you guys, I came back with some acrylic paints and just put little slashes on it just to show like individual hairs. And coming back with a little bit more gray, tone down the brown. Alright, set her there to let it dry. We're going to get the base and decorate it. Got a little baggie here, took out to the woods, and it's full of acorns and tree nuts of all sorts. I think they were, what were the hickory nuts? I think is what the bigger ones were. Different types of hickory nuts. That little piece of wood there, where'd we get that? Went to the Hobby Lobby nearby, looking up and down the aisles for something to use as a base, and I found it. There it is. So yeah, I thought the little slice of wood there, that'd be a good little use for a base. I was just kind of looking at all different sized nuts or acorns that I could stick in his hands. I got the top pieces of the acorns there, make it look like he's been snacking for a minute. Got a little bit of moss there as well that we'll put on our base. Glue our acorn in place there in his hands, make it look like he's eating. Put some moss down, see if the hot glue gun works. Nope, not hot enough. Nothing's coming out yet. So we'll go back to kind of placing it and see what I like. There we go. Now our hot glue's hot. Put down our moss. See if it sticks. There we go. Put a little squirrel friend down. Make sure our moss is down so it's not falling off. And we're going to start placing some acorns around them. And our hickory nuts. Just tacking it with some super glue as well, just to make sure that it holds. Here we got the empty tops of the acorns to make it look like he's been snacking for a minute. I believe that was a different type of hickory nut there. Pull it in place till it dries, till it cools down. Then we got one that a squirrel or chipmunk or something had to, they ate one acorn and left the other one there intact. I thought that was real cool to find out in the woods. I'm kind of looking over it, making sure I'm liking it. When I found that piece of wood in the store, I thought it was fairly big. And then I got the squirrel in there. I was like, wow, I don't have that much room in order to do anything with, but we'll make do. We'll make do. I don't want to spend too much money on it, so. I'm going to put some moss here, cover up some of the hot glue. And there we go. Put a little acorn hat on too. And filled his eyes in with a Sharpie. And then here you can see the acrylic paint that I put on him, just to mimic fur. Let's get those money shots. While I'm getting these shots here, I just want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. I'm new to this, and It amazes me to see that number go up on that other video that I made. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And again, I'm glad you're here. Not just watching the video, but just in general. I'm glad you're here. And then I had to get this shot. I thought this was kind of fun. Kind of like where you'd see a squirrel in a city, right there on a trash can. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here. Stick around. I'll see you next time.